Anime, can I get the war horn, please? Got the war horn. And y'all already know that I'm what? I'm thinking all the time. You're goddamn right. Get my timer on, anime. Let's get it. All right. So now we are still dealing with the stories or the myths or the legends of Gye-Nyame journey. So we're gonna start talking about some of the other players, because those that are on the fringes of Jiami know about G, but they don't know about other individuals that may play a major factor in Jiami. They don't know about other mythic members, right? So one of the questions in the future is going to be about who are the mythic members, who are the other mythic members, who were G students, because G had direct students that he was that it was there. Kwame Great Amani. What's up? What's up, Kwame? All right, Kwame is visiting us on Spreaker. Let's give him a round of applause. We're moving the family over to our podcasting platform. Why? Because it's more beneficial for us. What's going on, baby?
Grandma said taste it and tell us what it needs.
Okay. Oh, this is good.
I made it.
All right. Can you put some a little bit more Brags, please?
Brags?
Because it's too sweet, too much sugar.
Okay.
A little bit of ambrosia. Take some ambrosia. Put some ambrosia in there. There's ambrosia in the refrigerator, just a little bit. I'm sorry. Real life is Jiami. Oh man, my clock is running. Oh. Well, anyway, the best way for us, the best thing that's working for us is the podcast. So, family, you know what I'm saying? We want to try to get all of y'all to go to our podcast. You can find it. We are on Spreaker. You can find it under Hot Tim, or you can find it under Gye-Nyame Journey Show. Look up Gye-Nyame Journey. Right? Hold on. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you how to get to our main page.
She said,
our public, huh?
She said, what is it?
Ambrosia?
No, Brags.
Brags is the black sauce that you call soy sauce.
Oh.
Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Just look up Gye-Nyame Journey Media, and you'll be able to find us on Spreaker podcast, so you could be walking around listening to us as we go and grow, right? So the recorder is running, and the story we're gonna hit today is called "Make It Happen." Let's make it happen. Make it happen! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Many of y'all have heard conversations with Gye-Nyame on the show or in different places where there's an issue where it's hard or maybe impossible, and you heard us use the term very simply, make it happen. This is where it's from. But also, you're going to learn a little bit about the undergirdings of the myth of Gye-Nyame, of G first. Right? But anyway, let's keep it going. Make it happen. Stories have been used. Well, this is a haiku by Hatim. Stories have been used to teach people about life. Let's bring stories back. Stories have been used, 5, to teach people about, to teach people about life. You see, 7. Let's bring stories back. I know how y'all waiting for me to slip. I know. It's cool, though. It's cool. It's cool, Kwame. They're praying for my downfall. It's cool. So, here we go. Once there was a master who was well known for his skill in helping his students become conscious. It was said that he had gained his knowledge from a long-forgotten people, and before they left this world, they gave him the secrets of life and death. Some even said that he was immortal, because his legend was known by the young and old. He was known to travel a certain road on a periodic journey from the mountains to the sea. He had only 7 rules that were known throughout the world as the 7 B's. That's B-E. 7 B's. 7 things you got to be. That his disciples were to adhere to. Be truth. Be just. Be righteous. Be mindful of reciprocity. Be in balance. Be in order. Be harmony. All right, now, because I want to go back over this real quick. Those Gye-Nyame that's listening, you need to go back and look at your story of Gye-Nyame to figure out who is the people that this person came from. But he actually didn't come from the people. His teacher came from the people, and his teacher was G. All right, but anyway. Children all over the world taught these 7 B's because their parents hoped that one day they would be the disciple of the master and maybe become a teacher, T-E-A-C-H-A, or better yet, a master themselves. While standing on the beach admiring the ocean, this master was approached by a wannabe disciple. The wannabe bowed and said, "Kind sir, allow me to be your student." The master responded, "For what? I have nothing to teach you." The disciple raised his head and told the master the stories he heard about him and his famous students throughout time and begged the master to take him in. The master refused and began to walk back to the mountains. The student followed, pleading along the way. Every day the master told the wannabe, "Go away from me. I have nothing to teach you." And every day the wannabe responded with the stories of the master and his past students, and finally he would end by telling the master how he had dreamed of this opportunity his whole life. After 3 months on the journey and a constant pleading from the wannabe, the master stopped and accepted him. The master asked the wannabe, did he know the 7 B's? And the wannabe recited them. The master then looked at the young man and said to him, "It is good that you know the 7 B's, but the true challenge is in living them. Can you live them?" The wannabe fell to his knees and thanked the master and assured him that he could live them. The master then told him, "My training is hard, and I accept no excuses. When the training gets too hard for you, feel free to leave because I hold no hostages. Consciousness is a choice." Let me say that again. Consciousness is a choice. We hold no hostages. We hold no prisoners. If you don't want to be here, don't stay here. You don't have to. We're not going to pursue you. We're not going to beg you. Get the fuck up out the way and make room for somebody else, because there's so few of us that have time, that we got a little bit of time that we have to go and we have to pass on shit rather than dealing with you fake individuals that feel like you being held. I don't want you to think you being held. So at this point in time in Jiami, if you are still here and have doing shit, right, and taking up space for somebody else, we may need to consider you an agent. Consciousness is a choice. The master looked around and said, "I guess this is as good a place as any to do our training. I have some basic needs, and as my wannabe, you must fulfill them. Is that understood?" The wannabe shook his head to let the master know that he understood. Now, a wannabe is somebody that want to be in your organization, want to be part of your group, right? Very special individuals, right? Because it's like you got people who are interested, but you have wannabes. You have wannabes. And it's not a negative term. It's a term for someone who is serious in their pursuit, all right? The first task that the master sent the wannabe on was to retrieve some food. The wannabe did this happily on a daily basis until his savings ran out. When the master demanded food on the 10th day, the disciple responded, "Master, we have no more money to eat with." The master looked at the wannabe with a smile and stated, "Make it happen." See, now, please understand, when we reach our, what we call in Jiami, our self-perceived limitations, right? When we reach those, this is what the teacher is for. The teacher is to help you, push you through, right? Those limitations that you have created in your mind. All right? Now, hold on. with a smile and stated, wannabe with a smile. Let's start. The master looked at the wannabe with a smile and stated, make it happen. The young man left troubled, not knowing how he would retrieve the food. Just before he got out of sight, the master yelled out, don't forget the 7 B's. If you violate them, I will know and not be here when you return. That's alarm. We cool. What y'all think about that? So now, you gotta make it happen. So I send you out on a mission, but you got to make it happen within limits. Freedom within limits. Where is it at? Where you at, baby? Come here. Ooh, man, I think Jiami playing. Freedom within limits. Oh, freedom within limits. You could get the food, but you have to do them within these limits. You could build the business, but you got to build them within these limits. You could get this, you could get that, you could build that, you could buy that, but within these limits. All right, I'm gonna stop. This went on for months, and at first the wannabe wanted to give up, but he hung in there, and retrieving enough food for him and his master every day became easier and easier. After being with his master for 6 months, living in a tent outside of town, the master woke up one morning and decided that they needed a house in town for his lessons to continue with. The wannabe. So now they living in a tent outside. The wannabe over the last 6 months has mastered the ability of getting out here and getting food. That's nothing now, right? At first it was impossible, but he was able to do it within the 7 B's, and he figured out how to do it within the limits that he was given, and he did it. The wannabe immediately looked at the master. Wait, hold on. Let's go back. The master woke up one morning and decided that they needed a house in town for his lessons to continue with the wannabe. The wannabe immediately looked at the master as if he had lost his mind. Looking at his master, he thought to himself, how does this man expect me to get a house in this town without money? Hell, we are just now getting to a point where we can eat well daily. Not only did he want a house, but he wants at least a 5-bedroom house. The wannabe looked at his master to protest, but before he got a word out, the master raised his hands and stated, no prisoners. If it is too hard, keep walking. Other than that, make it happen. Let's say it again. No prisoners. If it is too hard, keep walking. Other than that, make it happen. And by the way, you must keep the 7 B's, for if you do not, I will be able to tell, and I won't be here when you return. The young man left the campsite, at first confused. Then he was upset. He relaxed and figured that if others had been able to accomplish the task that his master had put before them, so could he. Plus, the wannabe felt he had invested too much time with his master and had come no closer to consciousness. The wannabe focused all his efforts and his thoughts on fulfilling his master's wish. Now, I want you to understand this, because there is a secret in that piece right there, right? And I want you to go back, and I want you, if you don't have the book, get the book. If you got this, rewind it, because I'm gonna read this for you one more time, because I want you to get this, right? Hold on. The wannabe focused all his efforts and his thoughts on fulfilling his master's wish. The wannabe continued to provide food daily for his master, but the majority of his time was spent seeking a way to purchase a house as he was instructed. 2 years passed, and finally, the wannabe was able to move his master into their 5-bedroom house. It didn't happen miraculously, right? When I was putting this together, I didn't want any miracles to happen. But what I wanted to happen was stuff that I saw in my own experience, in my own journey. I wanted to be able to share with it, right? Because this is one of the keys. Often, if we are working for things bigger than ourselves, outside of ourselves, it's easy for us to put our nose down, put our head down, and put our nose to the grindstone and get it done. But when it comes to us, I could chill. This is why people don't understand why Jiami is so important to me, because if it comes to me, I don't need that much shit, right? You know what I'm saying? I could work just hard enough for me and my kids and my wife to live. I could work just hard enough for that, right? But I got other things that need to happen. I got grandkids. I got nieces and nephews, right? I got tribe. So I have to keep my nose down to the grindstone and grind for something bigger than myself, because it's legacy. Because I don't know if one of my children is going to step up. I pray that one of my children will step up and do what I do. But history has shown me that it's not necessarily somebody even in your bloodline that may come in and do and take over what it is. This is why, Jiami, we say blood is thicker than water, but spirit is thicker than blood. Some of you experience these type of relationships where you are closer with individuals that are not blood related to you, but it's just something in their spirit. It's something in who they are that makes them, that brings them closer to you. Anyway, but after 2 years, it took him 2 years to get it, but he was able to get it. So he's living in a tent for 2 years, able to eat. Through all weather, all time, this wannabe had to provide the tent. He had to provide all that stuff and make sure everything was comfortable for his master. But eventually he was able to move him to a house. Next, the master told the wannabe the house was too big for just the two of them. So he instructed the wannabe to bring some students to the house. The wannabe looked at the master confused, and before the master could say a word, the wannabe stated, I know. Make it happen. The wannabe was really confused, because how was he to bring people to his master when he had learned nothing himself? The wannabe went out and attracted some followers for his master and brought them to the house. Many of them moved in and left the wannabe no place to sleep on many nights. The wannabe was responsible for feeding and providing the basic needs for everyone in the house. And I know some of y'all out there tripping on this shit. But please, hang in there, right? Listen. The wannabe did complain because he already knew his master's answer. What was his answer? Y'all should know this by now. Everybody in Jiami, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's been in Jiami any of my time, I already know. Make it happen. Goddamn. Shut up. Make it happen. See, and I done seen this shit work. I ain't just writing this shit from some wishful thinking shit, right? From some secret bullshit out there that a lot of y'all get into, right? I done seen this shit work, right? I done been in situations where after people done seen me make shit happen for them, and then now they're in a position of the wannabe, and I'll be like, yo, then this year, because that's basically what a wannabe is, we $2,000 short for this trip. They could make it happen. What the fuck you talking to me for? What? What you want some secret to the universe, some secret sauce to make the nigga make it happen? The fuck? We can't take these. No, shit. They're gonna be on the butt. So what you gonna do? Make it happen. All right? Oh, we ain't got enough money for the. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I want y'all to think about just with the crab board that we did this summer. We ain't got no money. But you know what? Motherfuckers left out of that motherfucker taking shit home. You know, but I'm just saying, make it happen. But he had to make sure he followed the 7 B's. This went on for years. Damn, this shit is good. Sister Kim, shouts out to Sister Kim. Let's give her a round of applause. Her and her husband, because this shit is fire. I'm scared to drink the rest. I'm like, God, Lord have mercy. Anyway, make it happen. But he had to make sure he followed the 7 B's. This went on for years. So now I want y'all to understand, this wannabe served his master. Set his master up so that he was able to eat every day. Set his master up so that he was able to be housed, at first in a tent and then moved to a 5-bedroom house where the teachings could be taught through, and this wannabe supported everybody in the house. Hold on. But he had to make sure that he followed 7Bs. This went on for years. And wannabe got so good at making it happen that the house became prosperous. The wannabe didn't even mind that it appeared that the master spent all his time teaching others. Many people in the house thought he was the servant. One day the master called the wannabe to his quarters and told the young man that one of his master's students was coming to town soon and the master wanted to throw a feast for him. The master stated that this was one of his best students and that the message that he would give to the crowd would change lives and may even bring the wannabe to the consciousness he was seeking. The master told the wannabe that he wanted to provide a feast for 300 people and that the wannabe was to provide the food and the space for this event. Now, I want you to think about the impossible task that was thrown before this wannabe. Now, not only do I have to support the people in the house, now I have to prepare, I have to find a way to make it possible for a feast for over 300 people. How? All right, hold on. Feast for 300 people, and the wannabe was to provide the food and the space for this event. Now, the wannabe was first struck by conflicting emotion. He was angry because how could the master tell him that some stranger was going to give him something that the master was supposed to give him? Think about this shit. Now, I really want y'all to dig into this. He was mad because wait, hold on. I'm going to bring somebody else in that's supposed to give me something that I have dedicated the last few years of my life to you for, and you telling me that this person is going to come from the outside and give me something that you going to give me, you old crotchety mother. You know, the only thing I can say is, ancestors help me. Bitch, please. Are you serious? Hold on. Stranger was going to give him something the master was supposed to give him. The wannabe had fulfilled all of his master's wishes and felt that he was a good disciple. Why was he being treated like a servant while all these other students ate and survived from him, making it happen? Everybody around him were benefiting from him making it happen, but they were not initiates. They were not students, or he thought they were students. And he's providing for them, and they get to sit and talk with the master all day while he's out making it happen. He's starting to feel abused. He's starting to feel used. He don't understand what's going on. And this is where a lot of us end up at. We don't realize that we are going through our rites of passage. We don't realize that we're going through our initiations. And many times when we think that the life or our masters or whatever you want to call them are taking advantage of us, when in fact something else deeper going on. This wannabe got to deal with his emotions. He got to learn to control his emotions, right? But I'm gonna bring this home at the end. Hold on, I got to bring it home at the end. So I'm gonna start over again here. I'm gonna start. Why was he being treated like a servant while all these other students ate and survived from him making it happen? Then the wannabes looked at all the years that this had been going on and got sorrowful. All the time that the wannabe was wrestling with these emotions, the master was standing right there looking at him as if he was looking into his soul and reading him like a book. The wannabe remembered why he was there. He remembered the stories told about his master when he was young. He remembered how far they had come, and most of all, he remembered the love that he had for this sometime cruel man who had become more than his master, but his father. The wannabe looked the master in the eyes laughingly and stated, I know. Make it happen. The wannabe made the preparations. Finally, the day arrived. The people came from near and far to hear from this master student that was to come and change their lives and possibly bring a gift of consciousness to some. The wannabe, as usual, took his place humbly in the crowd. As his master went to the podium, the room broke out in cheers for him. As the master strutted toward the podium, he waited for the cheers to stop, and he asked for his wannabe to come to the front of the room. At that time, the wannabe got nervous because he was wondering what the master wanted. He knew everything had been taken care of. There was plenty of food, and everyone appeared comfortable. So as he approached slowly, the master grabbed him by his arm and marched him to the back, and the crowd grew silent. The master looked into the wannabe's eyes and said, my time to return to my life's journey has come, and your time to begin your journey is now here. Are you ready? The wannabe was shocked and did not understand. He thought this was a mean joke and asked the master, what are you talking about? The master replied, my son, you are the master student that all this was put together for. This is why I say this shit come through me. I didn't write this shit. This shit came through me. You are the master student that all this was put together for. The wannabe stepped back away from the master in amazement. How could this be? I don't understand. How could I be your master student when you have taught me nothing? The master smiled and listened. The master smiled and looked into the student's eyes and said, my son, I told you I have nothing to teach you. My son, I told you when you first approached me that I had nothing to teach you. All that you needed was in you. I just had to help you bring it out. I guess you expecting to sit around and discuss ideas like the people in your house. Now I want you to hear this. I guess you were expecting to sit around and discuss ideas like the people in your house. So this initiate, this wannabe, built all this shit, and he thought all the people that was sitting around the master was actually getting a lesson. But all they was getting was conversation. The whole time, the wannabe had to dig down into himself or herself and pull something bigger so that they can make sure all this shit was happening. All of it was happening because the wannabe made it exist. The wannabe wanted it to be. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna just read that. I guess you were expecting to sit around and discuss ideas like the people in your house. And I get people like this all the time. They think that they think that what we do is about goddamn talking, but it's not. They think this is why when you hear somebody from Jiami say, make it happen, it's different than when somebody else is saying it. Make it happen. Because you got to have an understanding, because that's where the lesson is. I let y'all think it's in these goddamn books. It's not in the books. It's in us doing for our community. It's in us doing. And then writing it down and passing it down so that other people can experience it and hear it. Because think about this. What made this student hold on to this master was the stories that went around about the master prior to. So this means that other people was talking about it. Other people was talking about the lessons and talking about the master. But how y'all can't wrap your minds around this shit? Y'all think it's just about this, but it's about bringing all 5 parts of the human being to work together so that you can make shit happen. It ain't about you being able to out talk somebody, out debate somebody. I got niggas around me all the time trying to out talk and out debate. I'm sick of that shit. Let's get to building. I'm sorry. I guess you're expecting to sit around and discuss ideas like people in your house. In your house. That was and still remains a waste of time. But more importantly, a test for you. While you were out making it happen, they lived and still live off your kindness and love for the journey you are on. You learn how to control your emotions and how to focus your thoughts and create something from nothing while adhering to the 7 B's. My son, you had the ultimate lesson. You were my best and only student. The rest of the people in the house were just people interested in hearing themselves talk. They had nothing to learn because they felt they knew it all. Now it is time for you to share the lesson you have gained from being involved with life and making it happen in the world. And it's time for me to leave. The wannabe's eyes filled up with tears, for he could not deny the truth of his master's words. Master, I'm not ready. The master began to laugh. For the first time in all the years they had been together, he said the words that the wannabe had always wanted to hear. My beloved disciple, how could you ever believe that you are not ready when you have created all of this? You created the house we live in and teach in. You created the lifestyle in which we live. You made it possible for people to eat every day. And on top of all that, you humbly serve all. The now disciple looked at his master and stated, but master, I did all this for you. The master simply responded, I want y'all to listen to this because this is where you are able. This is why sometimes you might need to go on and move to something bigger so then you can realize that you can make it happen regardless. The master simply responded, now, hold on. But master, I did all this for you. The master simply responded, now do it for yourself and the world. The master walked out to the podium, got everyone's attention, and introduced his master student. The disciple walked to the podium and began to speak. The words just flowed through him, and the awakening he had been waiting for happened. As the words flowed through the master's student, and the glow of consciousness flowed over him, the master left and completed his journey. And his former wannabe, now disciple, and master student started his. Use the story builder sheet to break down the story and find your lesson. Good God Almighty. I love that story. This is 32 minutes. I almost started crying and shit. I'm sorry. But anyway, family, that is the rant for the day. Took a little bit longer, but that's the story. We want to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Those that know, those that don't, your fault. But anyway, anime, if you could, baby, please. Can I get my theme music? I'm thinking. And by the way, class dismissed. Now get the hell up out of my classroom. With the stories of Jiami, we are coming straight from the Warrior's Handbook. I'm reading. I'm trying to do about 10 minutes, but yesterday ended up being about 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I try. It's so hard sometimes. But I'll try to keep it within the 10-minute framework. But right now we're going through the stories of Gye-Nyame. You know what I'm saying? The basis, because I think after this show we're gonna go through the story of G. I'm gonna pull up the story of G, and we're going to do the story of G, because you hear a lot is Gye-Nyame, you know what I'm saying, and we have our own roots of why it's called Gye-Nyame, right? It don't follow what everybody else is saying. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna do the story of G for y'all so that y'all get an idea of what we're talking about when we say G. But these are some other stories around Jiami, and like I said, when you're going through rites of passage, family, listen, what's the story? Right? Do you have a history class, or do you have a rites of passage? Are you going through a rites of passage, right? So the story that we're coming from in the Warrior's Handbook to Life Journey, if you are G&J Media support, right? If you're a supporter, right, it's in your library. And those of you that don't have access to your library, then that's something we have to work out. We can work that out. You get access to your library. You got to open your account, and then we have to go back in, and we're going to send an email so that they can connect your library to your account. If you haven't, you got to get your account though. It's free. Get your account so that you have access to your library. And your library, boom, because you're a supporter, you get access to all of our books. All of our books and all, like all of our ideas, like a lot of stuff that's coming out, except for the new training that we're about to put together. But as you see us building it as we go, right? So the story today is called The Scroll. Warrior, from that Warrior's Handbook to Life Journey. We are on page 101. Damn. How long was golly? All right. The Scroll. Once in the Jiami Federation, the Federation, what the hell? The Jiami Federation? Well, I didn't know about that. Once in the Jiami Federation, there existed a man named Elder, who was respected far and wide for his wisdom. He was so wise that his name was used after his death as the definition of a wise old person. So in Jiami, you know what I'm saying, we have the legend of how the term elder was being used. It was the original name of a very wise man. But let's go and check him out. He was so wise that his name was used after his death as the definition of a wise old person. Everyone in an important position, whether it was the government, business, military, etc., gave him credit for helping them in their journey toward success. Elder would put together beautiful scrolls for his patrons. In the scroll, he would create some beautiful artwork, and within the artwork, there would be a quote, short poem or ancient proverb that the receiver, it was said, could adopt as their own mantra, and if followed, would bring great success. No one knew how long Elder had been producing these scrolls, but it seemed as if everybody who was somebody in the Federation was in possession of one. One day, a poor man with a great vision but little money approached Elder for a personal scroll. Elder charged a high price for his scrolls, for he believed that if the level of the user's success was determined by how much they were willing to sacrifice. My fault. Let me see. A high price for his scrolls, for he believed that the level of the user's success was determined by how much they were willing to sacrifice. Needless to say, the poor man did not have enough money to buy a scroll, but he did have the tenacity and determination that demonstrated he took his life and success seriously. So Elder took the little money that the man could offer and had the man volunteer around his house and in other places in the Federation. It took 2 years of work for the man to pay for a scroll, but he did with a smile on his face and joy in his heart, because he believed that once he received the scroll, his circumstances would change. When he finally received the scroll, it had an ancient proverb that seemed to provide the wisdom and motivation for the man to become a great success. Years later, when this man had a son of his own, he brought the young man to Elder to receive a scroll as well. After spending the beginning of his life with his father's stories of how he got the scroll and witnessing his father's success, he adopted his scroll and followed his advice, and his success overshadowed his father's. When the son had a son of his own, the grandfather and now father came together to get a scroll for the new family member, but the boy was still a toddler, so he could not go with them. The father and grandfather gathered their servants and embarked on a journey to get the newest member of their family a scroll of his own. Elder was rumored to have went into retirement, and the fathers wanted to get this last scroll before Elder made his transition. When they arrived, Elder tried to turn them away, but they refused and offered Elder a fortune. Elder agreed and sat with the men and had them describe the nature of the boy. They described the boy as rambunctious and a challenge to work with. After 3 days of discussion, Elder was hit by an inspiration and created what he called his masterpiece and gave it to the men with specific instruction. They were not to open the scroll until they were in the young son's presence. Then they were to have the scroll read to the child every day until he became old enough to read it for himself. They agreed and left on their journey home. When they made it home, they got to the child, set him down, and opened the scroll. And the father looked at the grandfather, and the grandfather returned the look. They were upset by what the scroll said. They called their servants back and immediately made the journey back to Elder. When they arrived, they expressed their dissatisfaction and asked Elder what was the meaning of the insulting verse he created for their child. Elder told them that this was his masterpiece and asked them why they were upset. What did the scroll say that was so offensive to the grandfather and the father? They unrolled the scroll and read what it said out loud. Grandfather dies, father dies, and son dies. Elder began to laugh, but they could not see the humor. Elder then explained the meaning. He told them that these words of wisdom would help their youngest understand the order of life. He then stated, looking at both of them, no father ever wants to bury his son, but every son should be prepared to bury the father at the end of his life. He also explained that after the son understands this order, he will be able to notice the order of heaven and earth and utilize this wisdom to have a successful life. Plus, the child will also have a powerful story about how he received the scroll. Elder then offered to buy back the scroll since they thought it was offensive. The fathers refused. Elder then doubled their price and they refused. Elder then offered to pay 4 times the amount. The fathers refused, apologized, and returned home. They taught the youngest boy to quote, and as he grew, he memorized it and was able to expand on it. This son became a wise man, and his success in life and business outdid his grandfathers and fathers combined. That is the story. You can use the story builder sheet to break down the story, find the wisdom, and share it with whoever. They said I didn't even record it. But anyway, it is what it is. So now this story came about because I had read the little poem, grandfather dies, father dies, and son dies, right? And the whole piece when I put this together was to try to get the family members to understand the importance of order. You understand what I'm saying? Because the whole piece is about order, right? Grandfather dies, father dies, son dies, right? So there's an order to that. And when I wrote this, I wrote it actually for my grandfather's funeral, right? Because if you live a good life, you know what I'm saying? If I live a good life, you know what I'm saying, my son and I raise my sons. My sons should be able, my sons and my daughters should be able to put me in the ground. Prayerfully, I will never have to put any of them in the ground, although that has already happened. But you know what I'm saying? It is the goal. It should be the goal of every father in a village, in a tribe, in a family, to be laid down before those who came after him. So in a way, I not even in a way, I have to kind of make a way for them to exist because that's the order of things, right? And what that story was about teaching you the order of things, teaching you what it means to live an honorable life. You know what I'm saying? Because in order for me to be able to outlive my father, I had to do what I had to do in order for me to outlive my grandfather. Because you know the way this world and the way these streets are, I could have been out there and ended up being buried by my grandfather, right? Which is a terrible thing. It's out of order. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, a lot of us, we live our lives out of order, right? You know what I'm saying? You in the judge, order, order, order. A lot of y'all are living your life out of order. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, how do we bring it back? By noticing the simple stuff, the small stuff, right? Using these stories to help build something, right? To help build something that you can hold on to. Like you can strip everything from a Jiami man or a Jiami woman, but they're gonna be able to still carry this stuff in their mind. The most important aspect. So that means, because like for a Jiami man, you could drop us off anywhere. You're supposed to be able to drop a Jiami person off anywhere, and they should be able to rebuild the tribe by memory, right? Putting them stories to work. And the stories will instruct you on what you need to do, on rituals that you need to lay out. You know what I'm saying? That's the real. And so we'll stop it right there. But like I said, that was the scroll. Nice little short story. That was, it was. I thought it was longer, but yeah, I had to make it short because I only had a couple of minutes to read for my grandfather. Because you get a couple of minutes to talk about your loved ones. I want to tell that story because my grandfather lived his life in order, and it was an honor to to be there at his service. You know what I'm saying? To help carry his casket. It was an honor. So, you know, as strange as that might sound to some of y'all, but you know, it was an honor because we followed the cycle, and he showed me how to follow the cycle, and hopefully, Wiz and Cleve and the rest of the Jiami boys and Jiami ladies will be able to lay me to rest when my time comes. You know what I'm saying? And be in order, right? All right, cool. Let's get it together. All right. Can I get the war horn, please? Can I get my theme music? Can I get my theme music? Goddamn right. I'm thinking all the time. Family would have made it. Some of the stories. Those are not all the stories. Now, I am going to take some time next, I think, well, when we get done with this, I'm going to have to go on and I'm going to have the discussion around the story of G. That might be a two-parter because the story of G is long. It's a long story. But anyway, but having a discussion about why that story is important, right? But anyway, let's get to it. We are on Rituals and Symbols, page 109. In The African Openness to the Tree of Life, a book by Erskine Peters, it states that rituals are the lifeblood of the people. Now, I just need to mention, as you already know, the Tree of Life is a very important book in Gye-Nyame. Tree of Life is a very important book in Gye-Nyame. I just want to throw that out there. This is a ritual reading. This is a reading that everybody has to do, and it's not necessarily one that people be like, you got to do it. If you really want to hang with the heavyweights, you have to, certain things that you're going to have to just pick up and do. It's like, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to instruct you on everything that you need. It's certain things that you have to be able to show that you're part of the culture that you could just pick up on, right? Everybody want a syllabus like we in college or some shit like that. No, it's certain shit that you got to pick up on, dog, that you need to know. So when you hear somebody keep on saying Erskine Peters or African Openness, the Tree of Life, and you haven't figured out that you need to get hold of this book, you have to ask yourself a question. Am I really part of the culture? I'm just saying. It got to be said, right? It's so important to us, right? Hold on. I was supposed to do a rewrite and set it up into a handbook. I took too damn long. Tara Hassa jumped on it and put it in an African Deep Thought workbook. You know what I'm saying? Standard reading. It's standard reading. You know what I'm saying? It's standard reading within all of the tribes within our circle because it's more than just Jiami. Now, we talk mainly about Jiami, but there are other tribes out here, right? So there's other tribes that have realized the power of this book. So I just wanted to state that because we got, oh, goddamn, I didn't even put my rant timer on. Is the timer not working today? There we go. Timer's on. We are 3 minutes in, so that means y'all got. All right, but anyway, I'm just saying, it's certain shit that you just need to pick up on. Like, you know, if you keep hearing G in our culture, but you don't know the story of G, you don't think you need to ask somebody about the story of G, right? I mean, like I said, depending on how you came in, you need to know the stories. You need to know all the stories. You need to know all the readings. Right? That's part of why I'm doing this right now. It's not your fault. It's Brother Hatim's fault because I don't believe that I don't want to force nothing on nobody. I don't believe in forcing shit on nobody. If it works for me and I'm satisfied with it and I'm cool with it, that's cool. I can't force it on you. And I'm not going to argue with you about that shit. Right? I remember one time, and one of the reasons that I really stopped doing it because as I started forming at different points in developing the tribe, I got people coming with their own shit. I got Moors coming. I got, you know what I'm saying? I got all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? And everybody want to bring their own shit, but they ain't got the skills to bring people together. I'm confused. You got all the, you know what I'm saying? You got your little bag, you got your little books and shit. You know what I'm saying? You got all your shit. You know what I'm saying? And you want to come and infringe your shit. Well, no. This is why a lot, I'm just saying, nation building is hard, right? Especially when you got people who are lost that don't even know that they lost. And you be like, oh shit, okay, cool. Now, all right, cool. You know, they mad at you for helping find them, right? Now they want to bring their shit up in here. The shit that had you confused in the first motherfucking place. I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I have dealt with it all. I'm just letting y'all know. All right, here we go. I'm going to start over. Can I start over, Kwame? Am I doing too much? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when they come at me, I just have to be like, ancestors, help me out.
Tell them something, Jones. Bitch, please.
Why? I'm not debating. I don't debate. You meeting with me. You meeting with my, there's no debate. Shut up. You know, have you found it, is it just me? But have you found that the smartest motherfuckers are always by themselves or for some damn reason? They know everything, but they by themselves all the goddamn time. They can't organize a tea party. But hey, I'm just saying. They want to infringe on other people's stuff, and that shit is irritating in nation building because I'm just shut up. Tribe building, family building. You know what I'm saying? Find your place. Find your place on the train, right? They be like, brother, I'm dealing with the train. What are we on? You know what I'm saying? That's one of the questions. What are we on? Underground Railroad. Where we headed? To the east. What's in the east? Freedom. What's freedom? Peace of the spirit, mind, and body. What's free? What's peace? Harmony and order. What do you mean? What are you on? Underground Railroad. What is it? It's a train. Why a train? Why y'all talk about a train? Right? It's not the movie, you know, because in the movie they had an actual train. That shit blew my mind. That shit was crazy. But anyway, in Jiami, I'm shut up. Let me just say, in Jiami, right, one of the manifestations of Jiami as we started growing was the Underground Railroad. And the symbol for the Underground Railroad, because we get into it, the symbol for the Underground Railroad was the train. And we had positions in the Underground Railroad that was created or based on the symbolism of a train. So you had a conductor, you had an imagineer, you had a mechanic, you had a oh my God, I can't disciple. I mean, it's crazy, but it's just we just transfer. But anyway, in the African Open, it's the Tree of Life, a book by Erskine Peter. It states that rituals are the lifeblood of the people. Now, I want you to understand that when you participate with the toast, we are doing a ritual. This is a ritual. Every day. We're doing a ritual every day. We're waking up with our ancestors every day. We're waking up in the moment and working with the moment, the magic of the moment every day. This is a ritual. But hold on. Rituals are used throughout the world to hold communities together. They are used to heal what is broken, as well as to reveal the connection between human beings and the divine. Rituals are truly the lifeblood of our tribe, and the utmost respect for our rituals and the symbols used must be maintained by everyone involved. Every ritual contains symbols, and each of these symbols teach a lesson to those who are open to receive them. So remain open and be constant students during the rituals you are being introduced to. Ask other nation builders and warriors about these symbols, for each one tells a different story to each person involved. Now, we will take a look at some of the rituals of the nation. Here's one of those haikus. We pour libations, 5 code, to connect with all that is. 7 to cleanse our hearts. Undefeated. Here we go. I need to start this article by stating that this information is based on my personal experience. I have been pouring libation for at least, this was 20 years. I wrote this 20 years ago. My fault. I'm sorry. I wrote this shit. Hold on. It's been almost 20 years ago. At least 20 years personally and all over the country. Libation for me is a process of remembering and connecting or reconnecting to not only the spirit, but everything around us. When we pour libations, and let me say this to y'all. This is why I be trying to tell people, listen, start writing your blog. It don't matter who reads your stuff. When you have a good idea, put your ideas down. Share them, because you never know how your ideas will affect someone and who may need them. But then you can always go back, and just like I'm doing with my books, I'm able to pull on those ideas that I laid out there 20 years ago. When we pour libation, we are open ourselves as well, and as the group to the Ashe of the entire universe. I first must admit that I do not belong to a group, sect, or religious order. I am a layman who has made a personal connection with the world and the spirit. By pouring libation, we strengthen these relationships. So let me define a few things first so that we can be on the same page. All right? Now, and the libations have not in a sense transformed, but at least for the ritual in which we're doing, we're not pouring libations on the earth. We're pouring libations into ourselves. So it has transformed into a toast. All right. Libations, the process of pouring or giving a sacrifice to form a connection with this world and the spiritual realm. Spirituality, the state of establishing. Listen. This is Jiami. Now, not necessarily you, but I want you to think about this. Spirituality, the state of establishing and maintaining relationships. That's a paradigm blower upper. Come on. I don't know what spirituality some of y'all practicing. Some of you lonely, by yourself, super deep spiritual, vegan motherfuckers that's lonely and I don't know what spirituality you practice. I'm just saying, if you by yourself, you can't have you're not spiritual. Say it again, brother High Tip. If you're by yourself, you are not spiritual. Spirituality is based on establishing and maintaining relationships. And where has the Creator and our ancestors laid us to exist? In groups. So you can't be by yourself and be talking all this spiritual shit. Man, I know it hurts. I know. You know, because you want to go to a mountain all by yourself. Nobody could be around you. You know what I'm saying? You got to have your privacy for your rituals with your ancestors and all, you know, but you have no functional relationships in your life. You practice your spirituality with your relationships. They help you work through, even with some of the crazy ass people in your life. Them is your best teachers. I'm sorry. Spirituality, state of establishing and maintaining relationships. Ashe, also spelled A-S-E, A-C-H-E, with a apostrophe or whatever. Ashe, A-S-H-E. That's my timer. This is the force that flows and composes all things. Spirit. Damn, I'm at 13 minutes. Okay. It has been described in many different cultures around the world. In China, it is also called Qi. Japan, Ki, India, Prana. I have even heard the word Yao used when I was in Ghana. This word in general was used. In general use simply means so be it, and it is also used in some places to take the place of the word Amen. All right. Pouring libations is a simple way of confirming and reminding ourselves of the relationship we have with the vast universe and its creator in all its forms. Some people pour libation using water, beer, liquor, and wine. The choice is up to you. No, the choice is up to the poor and the situation in which she or he is in. The idea is that the libation is a sacrifice. And when they are poured, you must give something of value. See, a lot of people run to the water. Water used to be used because water was a rare resource. But right now in America, clean water is not, it's still a resource. It's still valuable, but it's not as valuable as some of the other forms of libation. And I think we're gonna talk about that a little bit. I might have to pull that. I don't know what book that's in where I talk about true libation. In some situations, libations are given in the form of solids. I've personally seen it given in the form of food and of corn, flour, and etc. Usually it's the staple food of the people. This depends on the person giving or representing the group in the sacred ritual. The process is very serious because when we do them, we invite the universal Ashe, the spirit, to be active in the room. We must realize that this Ashe is always present, but when we consciously call it into our presence, we have the opportunity to bless ourselves and others. If we play with it, we can do great harm to ourselves. If the leader of the ritual is not focused and constantly calls this energy into a room that is not ready, it is like having an energy surge in your house. A fuse can be blown. But instead of the lights going out in the house, which they can, the metaphoric lights in some of the participants' lives go out. Unbalanced events can begin to happen. The first thing that needs to happen in a room where libations are being poured is that the ritual leader should ask for the permission of the elders in the room. This help brings the seriousness that is needed with this ritual into play. Now, what I will do here is share a piece that I call a verbal libation. I call it a verbal libation. Yes, libation can be done without water or food. If the intention is right, it is acceptable. After each category, the ritual leader will pour or toss offering, and the group will say Ashe. So we're going to stop here, and we'll continue with it tomorrow. Now, what I'm doing here, I'm going through the whole process in the way that I was trained and the way that I had to develop for where for the situations I would find myself in. All right, so we're going to stop right here. Anime, if you would, baby, sound the war horn. Oh, man, can I have my theme music? And as we say in Jiami, class dismissed. Get the hell up out of my classroom. All right, family, the family. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Can I get the war horn, please? War horn has been sounded. Can I get the theme music? You're damn right. And we can get started now. All right, so family, we're coming from the Warrior's Handbook to Life Journey. This is day 10. Written by a very good friend of mine named Brother Hatim. And we are going to start on page 115. I think we left off talking about libations. So let's go through it a little bit. We're going to start up on the page a little bit because I know some of y'all might have forgot. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that everybody, the first thing that needs to happen in a room where libations are being poured is that the ritual leader should ask for the permission of the elders in the room. This helps bring the seriousness that is needed with this ritual into play. Okay? Now, what I will do here is share a piece that I call verbal libations. Yes, libations can be done without water or food. If the intention is right, it is acceptable. After each category, the ritual leader will pour or toss offering, and the group would say Ashe. All right? This is a ritual. Sound familiar, don't it? Ain't this what we do? Oh, this is what we do with the toast. It is a ritual, right? So I got people that need rituals in their life, right? Right? But we'll talk about that a little bit more. You need to have the best life is achieved through engagement with systematic processes. I think I heard that somewhere before. And what is a ritual? Systematic process. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got a systematic process online, family. We done technologized spirituality. You got to use it for something other than the fuckery that's on it right now. But anyway. In the presence of our all-powerful, all-knowing, all present created by whatever name you call it. We pour, Ashe. Now this is the order. We pour for our celestial ancestors known in different cultures by different names. To some they are known as Orisha, to some they are known as Netaru, to some angels. We pour for them and we say, Ashe. In the presence of our ancient ancestors, those that existed before our Ma'afa, those that existed before our captivity, feel free to call names. Names are called, boom, 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 boom. We pour, Ashe. In the presence of our ancestors who died during the Middle Passage and our Ma'afa, we pour, Ashe. We pour for the universal ancestors, the ones that researched and taught us who we are, those freedom fighters that stood for what was and is right. Feel free to call names. Those are after, like the Malcolm X's, Marcus Garvey's, blah, blah, blah. Ashe. We pour for our personal ancestors. That's what we do, right? We pour for our personal our ancestors, those who gave birth to us, nurtured us, and taught us. Feel free to call names. Call the names. We pour, Ashe. We pour to welcome the present moment. We salute the power of the moment and salute the ever-present now. We pour, Ashe. We pour for our future generations. Remember them now and build for them so that they can one day pour for us. And we pour and we say, Ashe. We pour to the 7 directions, to the west, to the north, to the east, to the south, the up, the down, and we pour for the center, which dwells in each of us. We pour and we say, Ashe. We pour for the 5 elements. We pour for the fire, the earth, the air, the water, and the life that they all combine and make. We pour and we say, Ashe. We pour for each individual here, and any issues that you would like to share, feel free to shout them out. We pour, Ashe. Which brings us back to what we started. We began with the Creator and we end with the Creator. We pour 3 times, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So that was the order. You got the order. So now let me go back through it for you. For those of you that might not be paying attention, pour for the Creator first. Celestial ancestors, right? These are like the angels, those forces, right? We pour for the ancestors before that, our ancient ancestors, those before the Ma'afa. We pour for those that died during the Ma'afa. We pour for our universal ancestors. We call them universal ancestors here, Gye-Nyame. And these are the ancestors that rose up after our Ma'afa, or in a sense during our Ma'afa, and we know them from this side of the ocean. We pour for our personal ancestors, then we pour to welcome the present moment, then we pour for our future. We pour for the 7 directions. We pour for the 5 elements. We pour for each individual in the room, which brings us all the way back full circle. We pour once again for the Creator, and we pour 3 times. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. 3 is the number of communication. Remember, spirituality is what? Let me go back. Let me find that for you real quick so that y'all can have spirituality. State of establishing and maintaining what? Relationships. Thank you. This is only one method that can be used. You can shorten or add to it. And that's what we did with the daily toast. Just make sure that when you are pouring, you are not just acting like a robot. If you are pouring, you are pouring. If you are pouring, you are pouring. You are the ritual leader and have to be authentic. Be yourself. I try to be myself. Thank you for allowing me to be myself again. I'm sorry. And put your personal touch to really get any response. See, our ancestors want to communicate with you. They don't want to communicate with who you think you are or who you acting like. They want to communicate with you. Stay focused and relaxed, and it will work out for you. Libations are the major ritual that we practice, and some of the symbols that accompany it are the Moja Circle, Unity Cup, the way we hold our hands, the tree that we pour under or around, or the plant used. Another ritual that is used is the Stump. Learn from Simba Nation. We got this from Simba Nation. We usually do this during celebration or as a greeting to visitors. The Stump is not only a ritual, it is a symbol of our unity and power. The most powerful moment in the Stump is when members of the nation lock up and all step in one accord. If you've never seen that, you got to, oh my God! I get chills. Oh my God. The simple stuff is nothing like it. This ritual reminds us of the struggle of our ancestors during our people's captivity, when we were yoked together and forced to move as one or suffer harsh inflicted damage. Along with the stump, we have songs that are sung during the stumps. The ritual of singing the songs help to unify the nation tribal group and must be learned and eventually added to by all warriors and nation builders. Here's a list of the songs used within the Simba Nation. Now, so these are songs within the Simba Nation, but every tribe should strive to come up there through your adventures, through your travels, through your journeys, through your tribulations. There should be songs, right? I mean, this is one thing that we learned from the church tradition. That's, you know what I'm saying? You thought all those songs was just there? No, those songs come from people trying to live the life that they say that they want, right? That they trying to, they're trying to bring that culture, because whether you know it or not, Christianity is a culture. But hey, that's my opinion. It's so hard. That's one of the songs. It's so hard trying to be a Simba. And it's so far to Simbaland. Whoa, the mighty Simba nation. Oh, Simbaland. Right? Simba, go Simba, go. Simba all the way goes. If you're black and you want the truth, Simba is the one for you. I want to be a nation builder. I want to be a... You see? All right. The greetings. Now, won't go through that. You got to see that one for yourself. You got to see it in person. Hotep is our goal. Keeps us warm when life goes cold. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. That's a simple song. The road to Simbaland is long, rough, and rugged. Takes a hell of a man to make it on through. But if you ain't man enough to keep up this rugged journey, get your foot off my road and let a real man through. Oh, my Lord is one. I'm building me a home as well. So there's songs, and these songs were all created within the context of Simba. So when you bring people together, right, certain things is going to happen, certain frictions is going to happen, but if you have an artist there, right, because the artists are the vanguard of not only the revolution, artists are the vanguard of the culture. You know what I'm saying? And when you have artists that are in the collective, stuff is going to come out like these songs, right? These songs unite the nation, right? Or unite Simba and Gye-Nyame. This is one of the communities, one of the nations that we belong to. Every group should develop this ritual or one similar to it. This process is meant to provide all those involved a safe place to let go of emotional baggage that may be holding them back. These emotional chains are dissolved in the face of communal power that is unleashed during this ritual ceremony. Another ritual that is used involves fire. Fire is a symbol of transformation and in some cases destruction. When a fire is used in a ritual context, it becomes a powerful vehicle that can promote change. The power of the communal fire, when combined with storytelling and other rituals, is a powerful combination and can help all those involved to move towards healing. Y'all heard that? That means you're going to have to go outside at nighttime and have a fire. And since most of the time you can't do that in the city, you need to go camping with Jiami. I'm just saying. And united effort to make changes personally as a group. A major example of this power being used is a ritual called the Pain Fire, used by the Simba Nation. This ritual allows the Simbas first, and if there is time, the nation builders and the elders to share and eliminate their personal pain and they may be carrying around. During this ritual, the pain is burnt up in a large fire set up by the nation builders in advance. The symbols of this ritual are the fire, the stick, the stories, the smoke, and the circle. Another sacred ritual of purification that comes from our Native American brothers and sisters called the Sweat Lodge, or Nipi. The Sweat Lodge is a ritual purification that helps the community that uses it and respects its power to heal themselves. Within the lodge, the participants sing and praise together. We pray for our loved ones, those who have passed, and most importantly, for those that are amongst us. Here's a blog that I wrote about the Sweat Lodge. Here you go. Check it out. Starting off with one of those haikus, and I know some of y'all out there like, he gonna mess it up. I know I started the clock. This is wrong. Building a sweat lodge. Hold on. Building a sweat lodge. 5 is what this life is about. Oh God, he good. We do this daily. I have successfully completed another Simba camp, and I am back still recovering physically and emotionally. Now my real walk and work begins. I must build the sweat lodge of my life so that I can proudly once again sit with the Creator, my ancestors, and the spirits of the universe. When we focus on this journey, we find that many of the rituals that we practice are just that, practice for living. In helping build the sweat lodge, I was able to reflect on the work that I put in this world. And this time I found myself worthy to sit amongst the brothers and elders to pray and sing. Hopefully you take time in your life for rituals and realize that the ritual is preparing you for the world. The real sweat comes from the work that we do in the world, not from the trials of the rituals. So next time you are involved in one of your sacred rituals, which you should have if you are on the journey, check the Player's Pyramid book if you don't understand. Hopefully you will be able to reflect positively on the work you have done away from the ritual. So build your lives little by little as you live life, and not just in the rituals that you do. All of our rituals, those mentioned and those that are not, are nothing but preparations for the world. When we come to our respective groups, it is for a break and refresher for the real work. So participate fully and get purified for your journey in the world. Now, I just want to stress this. What this is talking about is that the rituals are, in a sense, and I know this is going to be counterintuitive for some of y'all, are breaks. Those are, in a sense, the breaks. The actual ritual happens in your daily practice. Right? Some people do it backwards. They think that the ritual is the everything. The ritual is like the break from the real ritual. It's a vacation from the real ritual that you're involved in. Right? So a lot of people invest a lot into the ritual, not realizing that the actual ritual is how they live their life. Shh. I ain't ready. They weren't ready for that. Y'all wasn't ready for that. So I'm going to stop right here. I've been going. So we're going to have to make this a part 3. So we still on. So we're going to move on. We're going to get to the other symbols and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Talk a little bit about that. Just a little bit. Then probably get into the principle and pledges and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We moving along. So Anime, if you would, baby, please. Thank you very much. Thank you. Could you play my theme music, please? Goddamn right. As we see in Jiami now, class dismissed. Get the hell up out my classroom. All right. If you would, baby, please. Oh. The war horn has been sounded. Can I get my theme music? Yeah, goddamn right. I'm thinking all of the time. And family, I'm coming from the book. Bam! There it go right there. The Warrior's Handbook for Life's Journey. The Jiami method. Right? Right? Coming from our perspective, coming from our experiences, coming from what we have learned and what we have been able to put together and, you know what I'm saying, share with you. So we've been through 2 books. We're going to go through a couple more Jiami books and some more details. But anyway, so we stopped on page 126 yesterday. And we are still on part 3 of Rituals and Symbols. Let me get my clock rolling. My clock is now officially going. So we on other symbols. Symbols are important in cultures because they help transmit the ideas of culture. Symbols are like the hardware of the culture. Let me say it again. Symbols are like the hardware of the culture that are imbued with cultural programming. The information from symbols is layered just as the stories, myths, and legends of the culture are. Now, for those who are not familiar with a Gye-Nyame lingo, we say that symbols are layered. We say that stories are layered because you get the information that you are able to accept when you look at it. So, an individual that might hear one of the folk tales like this morning, the folktale I was working with, or yesterday, no, the day before yesterday, for Gye-Nyame. Was it Gye-Nyame? I think so. The story that I told was the bull and the goat. And I used that one this morning for the folktale of the day, right? Because I'm going to start aligning the folktale of the day with the actual folktale that goes for that day. Each principle has a set group of folktales that can be read for them. And, you can study them on that day and learn a little bit about the principle. But anyway, the folktale that I told the other day was the bull and the goat. And the goat, a bull was running from a lion, ran into a cave that some shepherds were in the night before. And the bull hid into the cave as the lion was outside looking for him. But while the bull was hiding in the cave, he didn't know that there was a goat inside the cave. So the goat, to kind of insult the bull, bull, you scared of the lion, you bitch, blah, blah, blah. He started ramming his little horns into the bull. And the bull was like, I ram away because it's not you that I'm scared of. But soon as that lion is gone, I'm going to show you the difference between the strength of a bull and a goat. Right? So that story to a child will be perceived differently than an experienced adult. Right? The experienced adult can't get the child experience, but he's also or she's also going to be able to extract some other insight from that story. Right? And on different levels, when we say information is layered, we layer our shit, right? So we could tell it to a child, the child will get it. We could tell it to a teenager, the teenager will get what they need to get from it. We'll tell it to a young adult, they'll get what they need to get from it. We'll tell it to a warrior, they'll get what they need to get from it. We'll tell it to a nation builder and an elder, and they'll be able to get their message. It's layered, right? So whatever you can accept at that point in time is what you're able to get. All right. The information from symbols is layered, just as stories, myths, and legends of the culture are. Depending on your level of mastery of self, the symbols of the culture can convey great wisdom upon the ones that are ready. Ancient cultures had a symbolic language that was only readable to those who were initiated into their system. For example, we can look at the ancient Kemites, or those who know, who use metuneter, also known as hieroglyphs. Well, metuneter, which we know as hieroglyphs, to pass on the deepest wisdom of the culture. Like the ancient culture before us, our tribe has several symbols that hold a powerful place in our culture. Here are some prominent symbols that you will learn that you will run into in my writings. Now, these are not all. So we got Jiami, or some people say Gye-Nyame, or Gye-Nyame. You know what I'm saying? We say Jiami, right? All right. This symbol, and please don't get into arguments with people about that, especially if you Jiami. People are allowed to say it how they say it, because you're going to have different cultural frameworks that people want to take it from, and this is our cultural framework. Jiami, this symbol on the surface teaches about the true power of our Creator. The basic definition of the symbol is fear none but God. It also reminds us of the omnipotence of God and that nothing is possible without God. This symbol originates from Ghana, West Africa, and is still used heavily in that country. When this symbol is meditated on, it reveals many of its secrets. Take some time and focus on this symbol and see what it reveals to you. Many people just think that Jiami is just a name. No, Jiami is a symbol that you can learn a lot about our culture, learn a lot about Jiami by just sitting and focusing on it. Come on now, family. I keep on telling y'all, we ain't for play. We ain't for play. But anyway, let's go on, keep it moving. The African Nationalist flag. The flag was created by the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey as a rallying symbol for the dispersed African people. Flags have been held sacred by people since the beginning of civilization. Flags represent the nation that uses them and are used to give the people a unified identity that can be activated when a flag is shown. Our flag consists of the colors red, the blood of our people that unites us all, the black for the people, and the infinite power and wisdom we hold, and the green that represents the land that ties us all together, Africa. All right, you should know that one. Simba, the Simba. All right, get ready. The lion, which has been used traditionally by nations and countries as a symbol of power. The Simba not only represents that for us, but it also describes what we are, transforming ourselves and those we train into. We also recognize that Simbas move in prides, not packs like wolves. Simbas are strong and independent, but can live in groups peacefully. We strive to make this symbol a living part of each member of the tribe because the spirit of the Simba is what our communities need. This symbol helps reinforce the fact that we are building a place of safety and security for everyone that is involved. Let me read that again. This symbol helps reinforce the fact that we are building a place of safety and security for everyone that is involved. We firmly believe that in order for someone to heal and grow, they must feel secure to release their personal pain. That is the symbol of the Simba. Something else that you can focus on. The Kikombe Cha Umoja, or Unity Cup. The Unity Cup that we use during libation, this cup holds the unity of the nation and the tribe, and every time we pour, we remind ourselves of our connection to the Creator, universe, and each other. The Phoenix. This is a symbol of everlasting life and transformation. This bird has been celebrated in many cultures around the world and is called the Thunderbird, Benu, or Benu. Hold on. Now I want y'all to listen to this. Benu, or Benu, by Jiami tribe. The reason will be revealed in later stories about G. All right. So in ancient Egypt, it was called Benu, or Benu. We say Benu, as you've seen right here. Could this be the ancient bird that approached G? Benu. But we say it comes from Benu, but the phoenix that approached G name was Benu. All right? Benu by Gye-Nyame tribe. The reason will be revealed in later stories about G. This bird in old age is consumed by fire of its own soul and reborn to continue life as a new being in a new age. G. G-Y-E, or Guy. Some would say Guy, but since it's a Jiami thing, guess what? It's G. This is the mythic founder of the Jiami tribe whose story lays the foundation for the process of initiation of each member. This figure represents the infinite potential of all members of our tribe and is the template for each of us. So learn his story and apply it to your life for those seeking the path of Jiami. Black. Black is the essence of all things. From it, all things flow from and return to it. All colors come from black, and when they combine, they form black. Black for those in Jiami is different from darkness. Darkness is the absence of light. Black is the source from which light and dark flow. The color silver and the metal. For those in Jiami, silver describes the beauty and brilliance that we can become. But just like the metal, this brilliance can only be maintained by the effort of the owner. Silver is beautiful, but it is easily corroded by life and needs to be constantly shined. We shine silver ourselves. We shine silver or ourselves constantly by study, meditation, and working out. If we are not vigilant, we like silver will become corroded by life. These are just a few of the symbols that are used in the tribe I participate in. If you are vigilant, you will be able to see the symbols of other cultures and, more importantly, see how they are used. By studying symbols, you become what we call symbol literate. You hear us here that use that on Jiami. That's Jiami original term. Symbol literate in Jiami. You are no longer a victim of symbols, but become one of those who recognize their power and can use and protect yourself against them. Symbols operate on the subconscious level when we recognize them for what they are. We gain personal, group, and tribal power to use them for our benefit rather than being used by them. So that concludes the chapter on rituals and symbols. All right. So anime, if you would, baby, please. Thank you. Play my theme music, girl. You're goddamn right. All the time. And as we say in Jiami, class dismissed. Now get the hell up out my classroom. Now. Set up for me, please. All right. You got the war horn ready? Hit that war horn for me, baby. All right, she hit the war horn. Can I get my thinking music, please? Yeah, goddamn right. I'm thinking all the time. Let me give me a sip of my coffee. I still ain't mixed up no. I gotta get some of that Benu, sea moss, and some of that ambrosia. Let it soak it up, right? Grind it down, form me a gel, and I have my gel shots to put in my coffee. All right, but here we go. Principle, pledges, proverbs, and questions of the nation. All right. Timer is on. So here we go. Every nation and culture has principles that they use to help guide individuals and the society. Now, in Jiami, y'all know that we look at our principles on a daily basis, right? At least one of them. These principles are adhered to by all members and by the ruling body of the entire culture it begins to disintegrate. So everybody got to follow these principles, right? And certain shit that can be done and certain shit that can't be done. And if that's not the case, then you don't have a tribe and you don't have a nation. If everybody can do what the fuck they want to do when they want to do it, I don't know. Y'all might call that freedom, but that looked like chaos to me. But I'm just saying, and maybe for some of y'all, chaos is what you mean when you say freedom. You really need to look at that. But we're going to get into that as we get into this. These principles provide the roadmap that can be followed by all generations, and that ultimately leads the culture towards its highest ideals. Your group and culture, like all those before it, has principles that guide their actions and decisions as individual and as a group. These principles need to be learned and lived by all those who would aspire to be a part of that legacy. So, if you want to be part of Gye-Nyame, we have certain rules, we have certain principles that you have to follow. Principles not only give us a means to gauge our personal and cultural development. Yes, ma'am.
Can you do me a favor? I'm about to leave, so before you leave, it's a black thing on the counter, and I'm waiting for it to cool down. So before you leave, can you put it back under the counter?
Is it clean?
Yes, it's clean.
All right, bye. Real life here, Jiami. Means gauge our personal and cultural development. They provide a system that, let me start off. These principles need to be learned and lived by all those who would aspire to be part of that legacy. Principles not only give us a means to gauge our personal and cultural development, they provide a system that if applied to life can help you overcome any obstacle that may arise against you. In the book, The African Openness to the Tree of Life, it states that the best life is achieved through correct interaction with systematic processes. Now, I don't say it quite like that, but I got it. Our principles, when studied and applied, provide us with this systematic process. In the book, The Player's Pyramid, we discuss further how to use the Nguzo Saba as a tool of self-development or personal development, self-mastery, and success. So here's a principle system. Nguzo Saba, we talked about this one already, so let's go through it. Umoja, unity to strive for, a principle and harmonious togetherness in the family, community, nation, and world. Kuchaglia, self-determination, to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves, instead of being defined, named, and created, and spoken for by others. Ujima, collective work and responsibility to build and maintain our community together and make our sisters and brothers' problems our problems and to solve them together. Ujima, cooperative economics, to build our own business, control the economics of our community, and share in all its works and wealth. Nia, which is today, purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. Then we have Kuumba, creativity to do always as much as we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited. Imani, faith to believe with all our hearts in our people, our parents, our teachers, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. These are some of the principles that are used in the organization that I participate in, or the tribe that I'm in, right? For a more in-depth look at these principles and how to apply them to your life, refer to the Players Pyramid. Didn't we do that one already? We did that one already. Give yourself a round of applause if you was there for that. Also read the following blog for any more in-depth look at the principles. All right, here go one of those blogs. Are y'all ready? You ready? We're going to get a little bit into the numbers in this one. Here you go. Jiami salutes. Kwanzaa, let's seek a moja. Oneness in journey. That's one of those haikus by Hatim. Do I even have to count it? I'm not even going to count it. Because you already know. Principle. Umoja, day. They know it is Monday, but Numbers, 1 and 9. Element, air. Chakra, crown chakra. Color, violet. Emoji is the principle of unity. This guiding force is one of the most powerful principles to meditate upon and practice. This principle speaks to us about the unity of all and reminds us that we are interdependent with the rest of existence. By focusing on this principle and its numbers, colors, days, and elements, we get a deeper understanding of ourselves and a view of how the universe works. By being able to master the practice of Umoja, we become one with all. In this unity, we find peace and also realize that we are lacking nothing. Take time today to reflect on Umoja. See how you fit into the tapestry of life. Relax and meditate on this principle as well as using it, Umoja, as a word of power through chanting. Umoja. Feel how it rolls around in your mouth, right? Feel it. Feel each cell of your body and share the energy today. Here we go, another one. My mind is focused on self-determination, define self for self. That's another one of those haikus. I ain't even gonna count it. Because you already know. Principle, Kujichagulia. Numbers, 2 and 8. Color, indigo, dark blue. Element, earth. Dang. Indigo is, wow, it's an earth element. Day, Tuesday. Chakra, third eye. Kwanzaa is a time for us to rededicate ourselves, reconnect to what is true within us. And we are in Kwanzaa season, I'm just letting you know. And to rebuilding our communities. Well, actually, after next week. The second principle of Kwanzaa speaks to this on several levels. The major issue that we will focus on today with this principle is the power to define ourselves for ourselves. Check out my blog and haiku called Naming Your Purpose. This principle speaks to us about the importance of defining ourselves in the world. When we learn to use the power of this principle in the world, we take command of our reality. This makes it easier for us to live by giving us the responsibility and ability to create the world that we want to see. This powerful principle can be used also in hard times to help us pull through. This principle helps us to learn to control our will. When we take time and learn the mysteries of this principle, we learn about the sleeping giant that is inside of us. The sleeper has awakened. This sleeping giant, when awakened, will give us the power to break through all obstacles. Take some time today to focus on this principle and build your personal power by working with it in your mind and soul through meditation and deep thought. Now that you know the day and the color, you can focus on it at its most powerful times. Now remember, we got the principles separated by the days. And each one of these principles weren't on any day, but each one of them have a time of power, right? Right now, we in the near time of power, right? All right. Collective work and responsibility is the key to freedom. That's another one of those haikus. Do I even need it? Nah, I ain't even gonna count. Principle is Ujima. Number is 3. Color is blue, like a light blue type thing. Day is Wednesday. Chakra, throat, Element, fire. Ujima is the principle that helps us accomplish our goal by teaching us about communication. It is through communication that we are able to marshal our internal as well as external resources to work together to achieve a goal. When we look at this principle and put it into practice, we become a great speaker, but we also learn about the responsibility that comes with being the bringer of the word. By getting into with Ujima and working with it in meditation, we learn about the importance of the collective and how, by the use of the proper words and inspiration, we can accomplish the impossible. The mistake that many make with this principle is that they focus only on the outside world. To get the full use of the power of Ujima, we first have to focus its power inward. Wow. Yes, we have a collective inside of us. The human being has at least 5 parts, IMESP: intuition, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical aspect. When we are able to bring all of the parts of ourselves into a harmony, then it is easier to work with the outside world. Remember that these principles are to be used to help develop you, and through you and your action improve the family, community, tribe, and etc. Use Ujima as a word of power in your meditation today and uncover the secrets it has for you on this journey. Here go another haiku. Resources combined build power for task at hand when many are one. Oh man, we're going to stop right there. We'll get right back on it tomorrow. Might have a little bit more. Might have a little bit more time tomorrow. Tomorrow we have, we having a Jiami meeting in person. They had one of those, and damn, we can actually say years. All right, but anyway, that's that for that one. All right, let's go. Anime, if you would, baby, please. War horn has sounded. The war horn has sounded. Now, can you play my theme music, please? You goddamn right, I'm thinking all the time. And family, all I can say is, class is dismissed. Now get the hell up out of my classroom. All right, so now, let's do these libations real quick. Hold on. Still got other stuff in my coffee. I had a little moringa. Moringa makes it green, makes it a little bit more biting. But hey, gonna do this ambrosia. All right. So first off, I want to give honor to the. Oh, my fault. Before we even do that, let me make sure the family knows. Those of you that are interested, those of you that want to get your ancestors on the list, you can do it by all means. Girl, you can do it by, if you would. Can I get the war horn, girl? Thank you very much. Can I get my theme music, please? You goddamn right. And can I get the clock? All right, we have exactly 10 minutes because I want to get off of here before 12 because we got our replay coming on. That's right, from yesterday's show. So you can watch this one and then go right back and listen in on that one. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what's going on right now. I got to apologize. I don't know what's going on with G&J.media. Dentista is having a celebration because he's being moved to mestre level in Capoeira, which is no easy task. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get up there because we got our group and stuff today. And, you know, then they doing it in the evening. And I'm like, I'm about to drive up there and drive back. I ain't going to make it. So, but yo, celebrations out. Let's give them a round of applause. Mestre Dentista. That's dope. You just throw the Mestre on the name, right? I'm Mestre Dentista. And I have been officially certified as a master dentist. I could kick your teeth out type thing, right? It's official now. All right, so we are on where we're talking about the principles in the principles, pledges, proverbs, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. We are on page 148, coming straight from Warrior's Handbook for Life's Journey, the Jiami method. We are on the principle of Ujima, Color green, day Thursday, element water, number 4. Economics can be defined as the branch of social sciences that deals with the production, distribution, consumption of goods and services and their management. On our journey, it is our challenge to look deeper into issues. Ujima teaches about cooperative economics, but the challenge is to look beyond the outer and move inward. There is no way we can talk about managing anything if we have not taken the time to learn to manage our inner world. Just for a few moments today, I challenge you to think about what products you create in your life, how you distribute them to yourselves and to others. Are the products, thoughts, emotion, imagination, and etc. good or bad for you? Now let's go back to the products, thoughts, emotions, imaginations, and etc. We all are producing something, right? Are they good or are they bad for you? Are your products good for those around you? Cooperative economics is not just about gathering and combining a resource outside of us. It starts, as all these principles do, from the inside of our being. What are the personal resources we have overlooked? What skills do we have that we can master to help build our lives and then the community's life around us? After we do the internal work, it will be easy for us to look into the world and manage the resources around us, no matter how small they are. When you find a person that has mastered themselves, they appear to be able to do miracles with little external resources. When I speak of mastery, I want to make it clear that I'm not talking about a perfected being with no issues. I am talking about the individual who has decided to take the journey toward mastering something in their life and the world. Today, let's focus on Ujima and learn to first manage our internal resources and then move to work in our communities. Empty individuals without the keys to mastery and guiding principles can be given all the opportunity and resources in the world, and they will create nothing but destruction and confusion. If you do not believe me, look at the present state of our economy. Okay. All right, so we're moving on to the next principle. Once again, we're coming from the Warrior Handbook for Life's Journey. Living with Nia. I got two haikus. Living with Nia shields us from life's random winds that blows away fake. My fault. The principle is Nia, element is air. Day is Friday. Number is 5. Color is yellow. Accidental life. Poor child, wake up and live life. Try life on purpose. That's another one of those haikus. And I'm not even gonna count. I'm just undefeated. Can't be stopped. Purpose hasn't been a major topic on our journey this year and probably will continue to be. It appears that many of us live our life on accident. We zoom through life on autopilot, following regular patterns that make us comfortable, but it is these patterns that may be holding us hostage. During this day of Kwanzaa, we get to reevaluate our life, the reason for our existence, and to refocus our efforts to accomplish what we choose to come to this planet to fulfill. Part of Nia is taking responsibility for your existence and stop allowing the random events of your life to hold you back and knock you off your path. When we embrace our Nia and begin to focus on it, we attract all that we need to fulfill it. The key is to first identify your purpose and then focus upon it. Take some time on this 5th day of Kwanzaa and discover your Nia and begin to move toward it. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Through my journey, I have noticed that those that are operating outside of their Nia have certain traits in common, like depression, easily angered, bouts of sorrow, low self-esteem, an unhealthy need to make others happy, and etc. The main reason I can't recognize many of these traits is because, like many of you reading this, I have been there. What I have also had the opportunity to see is that those that dare to walk their Nia may not be the richest or most famous. The most common qualities about them is that they are truly happy. By no means do they escape the challenges of life, but the way they see these challenges is very different than those who are stuck doing things outside their Nia. The moral of this story is to align yourself with your Nia, use the symbolic tools that I gave you at the beginning of this piece, Every principle has a symbol and a best time to use them. This information helps you focus and understand and attain your goal. Just plug in. All right, we moving to Kuumba, and here we go. The Haku for Kuumba. Kuumba teaches, I create, therefore I am. Let's recreate world. Principle, Kuumba, color orange, element earth, number is 6, day is Saturday. Matter of fact, we are on Kuumba. Let's give Kuumba a round of applause. We in Kuumba as we speak. This principle speaks of our very nature. We were created to create. We are here to create. The only question, what is blocking your creativity? If Kuumba is in us, then why do we refuse to unleash this power in the world? I see a lot of products being produced. I see clever rappings. I hear somewhat impressive music, but it is not creative. The majority of what I see in the world today is a variation of a creative idea from years ago. Kuumba, where have you gone? Come back into our lives and the world. Help us create our freedom and prosperity rather than begging to receive it from the uncreative powers to be. To create, to practice Kuumba is one of the highest forms of worship. When we create, we pull on that divine spark within ourselves. By pulling on the divine within us, we show our appreciation for life. Today, take the time to release your Kuumba and practice the highest form of worship for your Creator. Use the symbolic above tools to help you plug into this powerful force. Now, when I'm talking about the tools, they're talking about the principles, the color, the element, the day, and the number type thing. So here we go. Last one. We have, here's that haiku. In faith, we will walk with the money shielding us. This year will be great. Principle, Imani. Element, fire. Number, 7. Day, Sunday. Color, red. And also I forgot, because for the last, I haven't been given the chakra. This is the root chakra. The Kuumba is the creative. It's 2 inches below your belly button. That's that chakra. And before Nia, no, my fault. Kuumba is the one right, is 2 fingers below your belly button, right? Then before that, you got Ujima. And Ujima, of course, yeah, Ujima. Hold on. I'm going backwards. So Imani is the root chakra. That's that within the sex organs. You got two fingers below your belly button is Kuumba, right? Then we have above that, we got the solar plexus, which is Ujima. Ujima is the heart. Then we have the throat chakra, which we already discussed, right? But for some reason I left those off. I don't know. But anyway, we should use our faith as a weapon rather than a crutch. I often hear faith being used in a passive way. Faith is an active power that we must learn to focus. If we do not, we become a victim of our own power. We find out as we work with this powerful principle that the things we put our Imani in help to shape our lives. We bring to life all things we send our Imani into, regardless of whether they are good or bad for us. So learn to focus your Imani on what it is you want to strengthen or manifest in your life. Take some time to work with this principle using the tools given. Use the word Imani and meditate on it and unravel the secrets for yourself. All right, so we're going to stop right there. So we just finished. So we going to go to a part 3 on this. So that's dope. All right, so family, anime, if you would, please. Can I have my theme music, please? I'm thinking all the time. You damn right. And, all right.